Hey, how's it going, guys? Vector, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are finally looking at the official gameplay and the release date trailer for Borderlands 4. Now, I guess first thing I should say is that this did come out, I think, a day ago now. So I guess I'm a little late, but I still wanted to do kind of my own analysis to kind of look back on, just when we see more about the game, and I always feel like I have, a little bit different to say than other people on the game. And my first reaction, I didn't record it like the a reveal back in December during Games event, Game Awards, but it was pretty much the same. I was complete shock. I was extremely excited, and I am extremely excited for this game. I mean, it looks awesome. I've kept thinking about this trailer ever since then. So yeah, let's get into it. All right. So looking at the trailer, first thing I guess get out of the way is it does say that it contains both gameplay and cinematics, so we don't have 100% true gameplay yet, I guess in a way. They did say that they're going to have another state of play later in the spring. That's kind of like a whole panel reveal. So that was probably going to be where we get everything else. But I guess the first thing to point out is that this location right here was from one of the original screenshots that they sent out where people went to the file name and saw that the original image had raid in it. So people speculated, sorry, that this could be a potential like raid spot, like some like endgame content. So this is looks like the same background for that image. We get our first look at one of the red chests. Let me just real quick. I don't know if it's gonna be the red chest for the entire game, because in Borderlands 3, depending on what planet you're on, the red chests look different. So this could just be for all of Kairos, or this could be on Elpis. Here's our first look at a red chest. Gets a nice opening animation, and this was a pretty common thing that's pointed out so far, is that the money over here, it's not the typical green one with Marcus's face on it. It looks like the timekeeper. So we get just a different currency since we're not on Pandora anymore. And we get a look at also the green and purple rarity, and also the Jacob's pistol. And they show a lot of Jacob weapons in this trailer, and some that are pretty easy to tell that they're Jacobs, and others that are not so easy. But I think the designs so far for the guns and the manufacturers are great in this game. You can see we have a legendary. We go back a couple frames. Now this is, I'm just guessing it's like an AR, maybe a Vladov, judging off of this right here. And also the drum mag also gets this nice kind of urban looking camo, and then they pick it up and get a little inspect of it. Now unfortunately I don't have arrow keys on my keyboard, so I won't be able to go back 5 seconds. I'm gonna have to use the little comma to go back a couple frames, but that's the animation. Let me get right into some gameplay where you shoot this saw blade disc thing at this unfortunate psycho, and they just get pulverized. Another thing that people have noticed pretty quickly is that this game looks fairly gory, and you can see that a lot of the hills. Yeah, see, this is why I need keyboard arrow keys. They completely turn into mush. We can see the brain, and some of them you can see like their full rib cage, which I think is pretty cool. But I'm assuming there's going to be a filter where you can turn it off. But this gun, it's kind of hard to tell what kind of weapon type it is, because it looks like you're holding it like a launcher in a way, but also kind of shoots like a shotgun. And this thing reminds you of the that one disc launcher from Black Ops 3, so maybe in that case it is a launcher. But then we cut to, looks like a grenade being thrown at this cool looking creature. And this looks like another one of the shots from the first trailer. That's kind of had some sweeping shots. It had like this building in the background with this same sky, like hexagonal looking roof area. And some more of the neon posters with the timekeeper right there. And they're holding a weapon that looks like it has blades on it, so you can melee with a weapon. Now, I don't know which Vault Hunter this is. I think it's the shorter Malawan looking girl. This is our first look at a grenade. It has some cool trail going onto it. And it flashes this skull, which at first I thought that might just be the death screen maybe, but I also feel like this is one of the images that they showed at that they flashed at the end of one of the trailers, so that just could be them reusing that here. And then we cut to this gameplay section where we get the use of the big guys action skill that we saw at the end of the first trailer. If you look, they already kind of improved, at least what I noticed, they improved the textures on these because you can way more clear see this is fire and the other one's ice. The other one in the first trailer kind of looked like it could be water, but this one was, yeah, you can clearly see that it's ice. And they can also, looks like they perform a double jump, first jump and then a higher jump. Then we get some more action. We've got some sliding, so sliding is back, along with some other improved movement, which I'm really excited for. We can see this guy right here, which kind of looks like that one breakdancing dude, but this is, I believe this is a T-Door one, yeah. And I think the T-Door design is really cool. Like this is kind of hard to tell like what kind of weapon type this is again, because in BL3, T-Door made SMGs and pistols that look like this, so I don't know if this is gonna be a pistol or SMG. It kind of looks more like an SMG, but they could be making assault rifles now. So we get T-Doors back with throw reload, and a lot of things people have been seeing that this item drops from a lot of the enemies that they show, and it doesn't look like one shield or artifact. It's kind of more like a armor plate. This is a really cool scene. We get another action scale, and this looks just like the melee guy that had the two swords, because you can kind of see his visor. And sorry if I keep pausing right on the explosion, but you can see that he kind of takes out two weapons. So I don't know if this is gun zerking, because I actually just started playing Borderlands 2 for the first time, and I did a Salvador playthrough with my friend, and it's pretty fun. I would love to be able to dual wield on the newer games. But this doesn't look like a weapon, it kind of looks more like a action skill specific weapon. It kind of has like this, imagine it's in the shock element right now, maybe you could change that. But that looks pretty cool. And I guess one thing to nitpick a little bit about here is that they seem to have some bright visual pollution back, but maybe that's just for the action skill. So hopefully it's not as bad as Borderlands 3, even though really it only got bad if you were in like heavy mobbing areas, because if you're just playing normally it's really not that bad. But here we get the Siren, who might actually be like what some people speculate, that she might be using Iridium to kind of pump herself, because if you know that Siren's powers get enhanced when they use Iridium, so maybe she's just not a Siren to begin with, but she's just skipping being a Siren and just using Iridium's power directly to her. It's kind of like a pseudo Siren, and she launches this purple kind of energy that just eviscerates the enemy, then she shoots another guy, and then just blows up another one. And this gun looks really cool. It kind of, at first thought it'd be like a, I mean, a lot of the guns in the trailer have like these cool rotating barrels, so this could be like another Vladov maybe, or a new one. And I like the optics they're showing so far, they look really cool. Yeah, this gun looks pretty fun. And then we get another action skill here, which this is the big guy, and you can see based off his left hand. This is different from his axe one, so it looks like multiple different action skills are coming back. And I don't know if they're gonna release 4 trees off the bat, like have 4 trees to begin with, or if they're gonna add a 4th tree again, like it did in 3. But this could be from, I guess, like his orange tree, and like the axes could be like from his blue or green if they're keeping the same colors. But this one looks pretty cool. It kind of spawns like this, I guess, anime type propulsion to his fist that he drives into this cool creature. Alright, this is one of my favorite shots right here in the trailer. Where we can see, I think this is the same dude with the dual wielding, that he takes this is like a lower tier Jacobs, and he kind of just absolutely fucking incinerates this enemy just one tap. Because remember, if you take more than one shot, it's not a Jacobs. So that's pretty cool, because the way Jacobs weapons looked and feel in 3 were so fun to me. I'm really glad that it looked like they're going to be strong again, but I imagine that at least his character or the enemies are obviously a lot weaker for like gameplay sake, so imagine you're not going to be able to one tap everything, but when you are, it looks like it's going to be pretty satisfying. And then we get another scene, I think, with the same guy where he throws another TDR, and instead of throwing it to one, it splits into two, so this could be a unique or a purple, because some of the purple TDRs, they have different throw explosions, like where some of them like turn into mirrors, like they split, so this could be a gimmick like that, because if you look at the gun, it doesn't look unique enough to be legendary. Like it's maybe just like a purple, or this could be part of his skill tree where he splits a lot of things. Like there's some speculation now that since the trailer's been out for a day, a lot of people have analyzed it, and that a lot of the scenes where he's in it, there is two things with him. Like he's either having two action skills, throwing two TDRs, or having like multiple projectiles. So maybe he's able to double everything he does, which I think would be really cool. It's kind of like how with I think it's Two Fang, where you have a chance to double your projectiles. So maybe he can do that like all the time, which would double the damage, which I think would be really fun. So he blows up these two guys. Then we get this cool shot of a Suicide Psycho having this cool grenade, but it was pointed out by Epic NNG, I think, where look right here, and this was apparently an oxygen geyser type thing from pre-sequel, and I haven't played pre-sequel, so I wouldn't know exactly, but these are found throughout the surface of Elpis, which is Pandora's moon that was transferred by Lilith to Kairos in the, I guess, original reveal trailer for this. So this could be possible confirmation that we are able to go on Elpis at some point in the game, which is really cool. Because I think it'll be fun to play on the moon since I haven't played the pre-sequel. Maybe I should, but I know that one mission in Borderlands 3 where you're on part of the moon from Promethea, I think that one was pretty fun. So that would be cool to have in this game as well. We have this scene where we have another Jacob's weapon and another enemy just getting turned into blood, which is, this one was kind of weird because it was a bigger enemy, but again, I think it's just for trailer's sake that a lot of the guys are getting one shot, but this section right here is probably the biggest reveal in the trailer, where the person goes into the water, cuts to a scene, and then another person comes out of the water, which I believe this is obviously a different setting, so this is not a continuation from the last scene, but you can see that they are swimming, which this is crazy. I don't think anyone expected this. I definitely was surprised. Like, was that just swimming? So looks like you can, at least on the surface, be able to swim. So maybe there's some sections where you need to cross water, and so instead of just running through knee-high water or dying to water that's the edge of the map, you can actually swim through it now. Kind of playing into that more free traversal I talked about a lot. And this is another really cool scene right here where we have, I guess I should play it, the use of the grapple that we saw at the very end of the first trailer. And you can see that they are using it at this another special area. So it looks like, at least from the two scenes that we saw with the grappling hook, you will only be able to use it if you hit one of these targets, but you can see one right down here. So if this is the case, we can only use them in certain areas. It at least looks like it's going to be a lot. They're going to be all over the place. So it's not just like in certain areas. There's going to be a lot around the map, so you can pretty much freely grapple anywhere without actually being able to grapple everywhere. That's another really cool scene. We have another Jacobs. This looks like a single pellet where they take the grapple, they shoot, they double jump and throw a nade, all like pretty seamlessly, which I think is super exciting because that just shows that the gameplay is going to be extremely fluid in this game. I mean, it already is in 3, so them being able to prove on it is pretty impressive. And then in the next scene, we get another action skill reveal. And this one is, again, I believe this is the shorter Malawan looking girl. Like a lot of people thought she was going to be like an X-Tron or an X-Heavy from Malawan. So look like she takes this kind of mech type thing, kind of reminds me of, I think it's Diva from Overwatch, where she kind of launches this rainbow orb that passes through the enemy. And this either could be like a slag type deal where once an enemy gets hit with this, they take increased damage. Or based off like the colors, it could be a mix of all the elements or a brand new one. But if it's slag, that's kind of iffy because I think slag was, at least for my playtime of Borderlands 2 so far, it is pretty cool. But I heard that in endgame it's kind of required and pretty annoying to switch every single time you want to do damage. So maybe this is a action skill specific type damage thing, but I don't know if they are able to execute slag type element well. I think it'd be fun. As you can see, they have a looks like an explosion creates around the enemy that gets shot, and also the orb is here in the background, and after a while it explodes into like a giant, looks like radiation explosion. So maybe this thing's able to explode twice. And this is another one of my favorite shots. So you get this cool weapon with a side mag, kind of like a lot of the Borderlands 2 weapons they had a stick mag on the side. So it looks like those are back. But I believe they reload this magazine normally. Maybe not. And then they put this other one down here, and if you watch a trailer, they shoot for more like a quicker fire rate, and then once they switch, it's more slow. But I'm just gonna keep it muted because I don't know if this music's copyrighted, because I think from my last video where I showed the original trailer, I got a copyright claim, not claim, but a warning or something, so I'm not gonna push it. Well, this gun looks pretty cool. And this is another pretty big reveal, I guess. It's like a giant, I'm just gonna say like a Torag rocket launcher where they're just absolutely raining hellfire. And I mean, that was sick. Yeah, I don't think people figured out what Vault Hunter this is because we can't really see. But this might again be the dual wield guy, so if you look at the rockets, they are multiple, I think. So maybe he is able to double everything, which would be pretty cool. I don't know if this is a new movement mechanic where you can hover or like slow fall, or if they kind of brought back to where rockets can suspend you in air if you shoot them long enough. But this looks pretty cool. And we have this guy get turned into like yellow paint, and this kind of looks like radiation, but this could be like an enemy, like specific death. Looks like we have like some type of grenade in the background here, and another weapon. It kind of looks kind of torgy based off the reticle. We can see a common weapon drop here. This is another cool shot. We got a boss. Now I don't know if it's going to be like a story mode boss or a raid, but they definitely are huge. So maybe a raid boss, but this is one of my favorite looking weapons so far. I mean, it's just kind of like a classic infantry looking rifle. And then we get another action skill reveal, which looks like a different one for the siren, where she calls in this like astral shadow projection of herself. So you see this little kind of scythe symbol in her hand. Then when she calls it in, you can see that she has a scythe as well, so maybe that's like her specific melee weapon, maybe. Or that's just part of the action skill in this scene. We can see a throwing knife. So along with grenades, assuming grenades are back, they're also adding looks to be throwing knives. Or this just could be a grenade, but the Jacobs version, like maybe Jacobs can manufacture grenades now. And theirs just looks like throwing knives, which I think is pretty cool. You see another pretty big blood splatter, and then the trailer ends with break free, this time in a new updated text. But yeah, that was the Borderlands 4 gameplay trailer. We end on this cool kind of Shawshank Redemption type scene, and then we get the reveal date. If you were watching during the actual state of play PlayStation, which by the way this was, I don't know if I said this at the start, but this was revealed during PlayStation state of play, but during the actual show, the trailer they had still had wishlist now at the end with no date, but then both Pitchford and another Randy from Gearbox did a little bit, and then they revealed the date, which I think this is a good date. You know, September 23rd. I mean, that was, I guess if you're basing it off when older games release, this is perfectly in line. But the way they were having Borderlands 4 sound, maybe might have been a bit earlier, like June. I was thinking like a May date, since a lot of other games are coming out in May, like Doom. So maybe they saw Doom coming out in May and pushed it back some, or this was always their plan. But this, I was a tad skeptical and concerned about this because I remember hearing that the planned release date for GTA was the 17th of September. Obviously, I don't know if that's true yet. And if that is true, that's obviously, I guess, pretty concerning since GTA 6 is arguably the biggest game release like of all time. So any game trying to compete there is destined to not have the greatest launch, but maybe Rockstar pushes it back to late fall, possibly like November, December, which is again entirely possible since we're not 100% sure, but if that's the case, I think the game will be fine. But I'm also concerned because that's all the way September. I don't think I can freaking wait all that time. But yeah, I mean I'm really excited. This trailer was, I want to say exceeded my expectations, but I definitely met them in terms of how I was thinking the gameplay was going to go. But it all looks really good. I mean, the lighting looks a lot different from 3. It looks updated. I guess like the textures are a little bit similar. But if this is on Unreal Engine 5, it's definitely an improvement because you can tell that the lighting and the shadows is different. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. I thought this was a great trailer. Like I said earlier, they are planning on having another state of play dedicated just to Borderlands 4, where they're going to show more. I imagine that's where we're going to get like live gameplay, a reveal of the Vault Hunters and their names and all of their action skills. Maybe not every I guess point in a tree that's available, just their primary action skills, which I'm looking forward to. They did say it was spring, so maybe like March, April, maybe like spring break time. That'll be a good time to drop that. Yeah, that was my kind of analysis of it, not really reaction since I've already seen it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I think it's kind of funny that my last 2 videos were based off Borderlands 4 trailers, but I do have plans for a Mo's build in 3 that I want to get out, and then maybe something else. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching, and have a good week, good month, good life. Bye bye now.